Up Mark Hertsgaard in just a moment. Just one thing I wanted to share as an opening thought. For those of us who have been doing environmental movement work, some of us here for decades, a lot of that work after a while is just about how can we get all of humanity to do less and less, right? It starts to feel that way. And it's hard to wake up in the morning every day and say, you know, I'm waking up today to do less. And that while there's certainly a limit to how much we can consume, and there's certainly a limit to how much we as humanity can have, there's never enough love. There's always more love to give. There's always more love to receive. There's always more understanding to reach. And there's always more creativity for us to bring from within our own minds and together as a group. So, so much to me about what Climate Parents is about how can we bring ever greater love to this challenge we face as humanity, and how can we do it in the most creative way? And there's never enough of that. There's no, you know, we ran out of seats here, so there's apparently not enough seats to go around, but there's also never enough love to go around. So with that, I want to just ask Mark Hertsgaard to introduce Mike Brune. Mark is one of the co-founders of Climate Parents. He's an amazingly accomplished and soulful journalist and author. I'll say more about him later, but Mark?
Thank you, Ian. Hey, thank you everybody for being here. Yeah. Give yourselves a hand for coming out on a Sunday, on a time when you could be doing something else. We all really deeply appreciate it, and Allie, where is she? There she is. Thank you for making this happen. And Hans, if you can hear me up there, vielen Dank. Thank you so much for opening up your beautiful home to us. And those of you who've been here for other events, you may know that we're in the final stages of the era of savory times. And there's been a lot of really great initiatives that have begun or have taken flight from this stage, from events like what you're attending today. So we want that to happen with Climate Parents too. And with no further ado, I'm going to introduce my brother in arms here, Mike Brune, who Ian talked about love. You know, I love Mike's kids, I love Mike's wife and family, and I love Mike. We've gotten to be real good friends, which is it's a tricky thing when you're a journalist and you're talking about one of the people who's one of the key players on the beat that you cover. And there have been a couple times when I've had to ask you tough questions, and I think we managed it all right. And so when Lisa and I were first starting the idea of Climate Parents, we reached out to the people that we respected in the movement, who we work with, and who were parents. And we have a large number of them you'll hear about later. But Mike was one of the people who instantly, without a lot of back and forth, just said, I'm in. And those of you who do organizing and activism, you know how valuable that is, that you don't have to do a lot of back and forth. And so I'm going to say that we're very lucky to have him here today, because I know just how much his time is impinged upon now that he is running the Sierra Club, and has done such a great job with turning the Sierra Club, even more than it was, into a real militant, in the best sense of the word, organization. Including with our other blood brother, Bill McKibben, who wanted to be here today but couldn't, including doing civil disobedience and getting the permission from the Sierra Club Board of Directors to really step it up and engage in civil disobedience on behalf of the climate. So here's a guy who cares about it up here and cares about it in here as well, Mike Brune.